Yo, what is going on, everybody? Caveman Jack back for another album reaction / review, and we are back live from the studio. Yo. Hopefully, you guys are having an awesome week. Man, I'm hella keen for this album reaction this week. Daft Punk are one of my favorite duos, electronic duos of all time. Random Access Memories could well be my favorite album of all time. It's so inspiring. The music is so just authentic. It feels so real, and it's such a great blend of live performance and real instrumentation, matching that classic Daft Punk sound, the electronic sounds that they often implemented within their discography. Daft Punk, they retired a couple years ago. I think it was pretty sad. I was always hoping that there would be a follow-up to Random Access Memories, but it feels like it was just such a, from what I've read, was such a kind of a magnum opus for a lot of fans. A lot of people have found that it would be hard to top an album like that. But there's an album by them that is very well known, very well loved, Discovery, which is what I'm going to be checking out today. Now, Discovery, I've never listened to in full. I've always kind of saved it for a special occasion. Obviously, I know One More Time, that is a massive hit, a fantastic song, and we're gonna go through that one again. We're gonna dance, we're gonna have some fun. But Discovery is a album that I'm really keen to sink my teeth into. Feels really wrong that Random Access Memories is one of my favorite albums of all time, yet I haven't spent some time with their earlier work. Discovery is over an hour long. It's got about 14 tracks. I feel like most electronic albums, it's going to feel more like a somewhat of a mix. We're going to go from song to song. I don't know for sure. The songs might feel like their own pieces, or they might feel like a mix. Either way, I'm super pumped to get into it. I need to kind of pick me up, and I'm really keen to hear this and just enjoy these sounds. These guys are legends, and I'm so keen to finally sit down and check out Discovery. And what a way to start it than one of the most classic dance songs of all time. Just classic, yeah? I like how kind of like it's building, you know, they could have dropped it there, but they hold it. There we go.
One more time.
Yeah, hear that bass?
One more time.
The bass drum is just so warm.
One more time. I wanna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. I wanna celebrate. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
One more time.
I'm sure everyone at some point has heard this, whether it be a movie, an ad, a party, it's just everywhere. This song has been, there's so many random points in my life just hearing it.
One more time, we're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time.
Great auto-tuning.
You know I'm just feeling celebration tonight.
Just really effectively
Celebrate.
used. Cuts the mix
Don't
so
wait too
good.
late. No, we don't stop. One more time. One more time.
Ah, really good.
Celebration. You know we're gonna do it right tonight. Hey, just feeling. Music's got me feeling the need. Yeah.
It's a really effective build. It's a nice kind of breakdown here. Simple instrumentation.
One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate.
I hear it slowly rising.
One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate, celebrate and dance so free. One more time, music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate, celebrate and dance so free. One more time, music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate, celebrate and dance so free. One more time, it's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate, celebrate and dance so free. One more time.
One More Time is understandably a pop electronic dance hit. That song will stand the test of time. Just such effective use of instrumentation. I love the robotic voice. It just feels like a futuristic sound. Now it feels kind of nostalgic, but it still has that kind of future-esque feeling, kind of like an 80s pop sound there, which is really fun. But just the instrumentation, it's simple in nature, but when it's like laid over each other, the different sounds, it feels like a really complete sound without feeling like you're listening to too much of a heavy mix. I love how the song kind of really strips down in the middle section, and the vocals really cut through the mix there. And then you get that slow and eventual rise. You know it's coming. That eventual rise, that final chorus, and you can just celebrate. And the lyrics are really celebratory, really uplifting, and celebrate the idea that music makes you feel free. It can inspire and it can just make you float, man. And that song is a classic dance hit forever. Oh, very church bell. The drums there are working really well. Oh, give me a beat, give me a beat, give me a beat. Come on. Electronic guitar sounding synth. That's cool. Strip back to that church bell we're hearing again. Kind of got a taste of a bunch of different sounds, but then eventually within the middle point of the song, it was almost like here you can have all those sounds on each other layered and just kind of celebrate the sounds. I like the electric guitar sounding synth. It's just interesting hearing early 2000s Daft Punk. It's exciting. how they're like cutting it in and out. It's almost like they turn the volume down on their mix a little and they reintroduce the drums and the full sound comes in. This sound is very just driven by this right ear of the mix. Now we're getting this left side.
Why don't you play the game? Why don't you play the game?
I wonder if it's actually a guitar or if it's just a synth. Track, man. Really solid track. A lot of fun on that one. Digital Love was a lot of fun. I liked how he got that robotic voice. It's like if Julian from The Strokes had like a really heavy robotic vocal effect added to his voice. The delivery there, it sounded a little bit Strokes-esque, but like super robotic. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're really getting a lot of guitar sounding synth work. I do think it is synth work. I don't think it's actual guitars, but just really cool. I liked it did feel very digital. The song is called Digital Love, but the song felt super digital. You know, it's an electronic album, I get that, but tonally it's been really consistent. Like discovery, is it discovering certain sounds? Is it going within different eras or genres of electronic music? Is that a discovery here, or are we discovering new genres that we don't know? It's pretty open to interpretation as well, but just fun. It was another fun track with a lot of synth sounds, and we're going to enjoy the synth sounds because we like synths. Oh yeah, we know this one. This one's tough, man. Just thinks of Stronger by Kanye West, man. This is the original sample for those who don't know. How bouncy is that? I love how they just go to the cymbals here.
Work it, make it, do it, makes sense. Harder, better, faster, stronger.
Man, Kanye flipped this sample so well. I just like the complete different vocal effects on different like words within the line. It's almost like at different levels. It's like shows how good. So sick, man. It just keeps leveling up, man. Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger is another classic Daft Punk song. It just shows how effective vocal kind of distortions, vocal effects can be within a electronic sound like that, within a multitude of different genres. But there, it was just done so well. It almost felt like every single word that was said had a different kind of effect, or it felt like it was pitched differently, just slightly. So it felt like it was like cutting itself off. It didn't feel like a streamlined sentence. Effects can be used in such a meaningful manner. They don't have to completely oversaturate a song. In this case, it just feels very digital, very kind of robotic, and really matches the kind of band's aesthetic, the album's aesthetic, the tones that this album has been kind of sharing with us. It's just a classic song. The vocals at times also sound like instruments, and I think they really highlight how it feels like different sounds come out of the vocals just because they chop them up in such a meaningful manner. And it's just funky, man. Like the beats were hard hitting, like that boom, boom. Real kind of clappy snare there. Drums, the beats have been really sold so far on this album. Whoa. I like that crowd vocal effect. Jumping in. Constant, man. It's almost just like a laser shooting constantly. There's another layer on it that kind of like goes really high. Yeah, you can't hear it here raising. Yeah, nice. This is cool. This is cool. Effective use of just cutting the mix in and out, really keeping you on your toes. You just wait for that drop again to hear the full mix come back into the song. Just makes me just want to go out and just party, have some fun. It really does just feel like a celebration of sounds there. Daft Punk were able to use that real synth-heavy driver that throughout the song. It just was constant. The beat was constant. It was weighty, had enough weight to it to match that kind of driven synth. And then you just had the nice kind of like da 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 da, and then the crowd effect came in. Just a celebration of sounds there. Upbeat, fun, dance it. Nightvision. Oh, that's good. Very moody. We've got a couple of synths laid over each other. Oh, that backbeat one's good though. Oh, I like how it just kind of floats. It's got like the right level of not completely warm, a little bit like ambiguous as well. It's almost like loading music, but like the best of loading music, if that makes sense. Nice little intermission of sorts there, really slowed down piece there, as opposed to what we have been hearing. Wasn't a long track as well. sample that they're just kind of looping. Just really subtle instrumentation here. But enough to keep you engaged. And then they give you about 30 seconds of like this section, and then we get introduced to a new sound or a new shift. Yeah, that kick drum, that bass drum is just so full, man. The lasers coming in. How good is that kick drum? Track is called Superheroes. It does feel super triumphant, like a celebration. Great track, man. Oh, you just love it every time that heavier kick drum comes in. Man, absolute legendary track there. Might be one of my favorites I've heard on this album. Superheroes, like I said, super triumphant. You felt like you were a hero. You felt like you were just doing good while listening to that song. Really uplifting, hopeful, and just a real celebration of sounds there. There was almost like that 80s kind of sample on the chorus, that something in the air, something in the air. And then eventually when that heavy kick drum came in, it was so warm, it was so punchy, and it really drove the energy in that song. And I liked how they would give you a little bit of that sound, take it away for a bit, and then you will wait for the build, and then it would come right back in. And it's just really effective use of it. They didn't use it throughout the whole song. They just timed it in a manner that you were looking forward to. You just couldn't wait to hear it again. And you couldn't help but smile every time you heard that kick drum again. Really fantastic composition there. Just overall, the synth work there as well. We've got so many like going up and down the keys there. Just really good, because you had the driver of the song, and then from that driver you can kind of make different sounds around it. So it's almost feels like you are continually moving throughout the piece with different soundscapes, yet the driver remains the same. Fantastic track. Oh, another sample here. Very 80s sample here. Ooh. For dance tracks, you really got to have a really punchy like beat to drive the song and really kind of keep that rhythm. And Daft Punk, like they're kings of it. They champion it so effectively. And we're getting ready to celebrate this beat again. You can feel the rise and satisfaction, man. Once again, effective dance track, great sampling there, 80s kind of female vocalist there, high life. It feels like you're in the high life right now listening to this song. Listen to this album. It's the high life, man. Ooh, okay. It's always interesting when we get these stripped back sounds in an album that's full of much more kind of punchy, kind of upbeat sounds. If that makes sense. Such an interesting vocal effect. Like if you listen to it, it's very like just the sound surrounding the vocals, just trippy, man.
It might not be the right time. I might not be the right one. But there's something about us I want to say. 'Cause there's something between us anyway. I need you more than anything in my life. I want you more than anything in my life.
Felt very easy to fall into that sound. Nothing too crazy there. That song didn't blow me away, but it was nice to have a stripped back sound like Nightvision. Something About Us was, just very kind of smooth in its delivery. I don't know how I felt about that really choppy, almost like choking sound on the vocal. Not the actual lines, but just like that. But everything else was pretty smooth on that song. Like it felt really relaxing hearing it. Voyager. We got electric guitar and the bass synth. Nice. See, they bring it down the sound before they return back to the beat. So right here, we're just kind of getting a little bit of a breakdown. And then the beat comes back in. Just really effective dance music. They just know when to take you out and then bring you back in. Yeah, it felt good. Felt like we were Voyagers. We're on an exhibition, kind of floating through the space. Felt like we were floating through space there. Enjoyable track there. Bringing us in, bringing us out. Bringing us in, bringing us out. Really well done. Ooh, a bit Zelda-like. We like that. And I like how the two different sounding synths are laid here. They aren't too dissimilar, but just dissimilar enough that it feels like they just kind of have a little bit of character, each of them. Here we go. Nice rise, man. It's Verdis Quo. It's Verdis Quo. It's Verdis Quo. This is making me feel so calm, man, so relaxed. Never ever wanna say goodbye, never wanna ever say goodbye to this feeling inside. This is Verdis Quo. great just piece to kind of just fall into. Really smooth sounds. It's got that game-like synth work, Zelda-like, but Zelda has a lot of amazing instrumentation, a lot of beautiful sounding pieces. I love that. I like how the synths, like, they don't match. Great synth work, man. Come on. I like how sporadic that other synth is. Yeah. We love it. What a nice shift, man. I like how it's kind of like slightly off key. It just sounds a little distorted. You kind of hear it almost kind of breaking off at the end of each note. Trippy, man. Feels like a different song to the first half. It's cool. Really distorted sound now. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It went from kind of being slightly legible to now like having like you cannot hear anything. It was super distorted. Really cool. Yeah, way to kind of finish that track. For a title called Short Circuit, that was really fitting way to end it. Face to face. Very cool. There's so many like cutting and sampling here. It's a bit like the Avalanches. It's another great artist. Just solid.
What's going on? Could this be my understanding? It's not your fault. I was being too demanding.
Probably the clearest vocals we've heard on this album so far.
All because I hope that you'd be someone different. There's not much I know about you.
Listen to that background instrumentation. How it feels like so many different sounds stopping and start.
There isn't clear view. It's amazing what you'll find face to face.
So many different sounds on this track, man. Like you close your eyes and I hear so many things. Like that off-sounding flute, really soft in the right ear. You hear it? Trippy, man. Love that. I love that. Last track, guys. What a ride this one's been. A lot of fun. Respect to Daft Punk, man. Legends, man.
Too long. It's been much too long. I feel it coming on. The feeling's getting strong. It's been much too long. I feel it coming on. The feeling's in my bones. Yeah. Yeah. At last, the long wait is over. The weight is off my shoulders. I'm taking all control, yeah. My
Wasn't my favorite track on the album. It did go for a while. Did I think it went for too long? Maybe. But it did very much feel like a kind of like one of those really extended like dance mixes. So it kind of would work for some people, I'm sure. But for me, it didn't really hit. It just was a little bit too repetitive in nature for me. Discovery as a whole was a fun journey. Ultimately, dance music that really felt really fresh. It still feels fresh now, just because it's just got that timeless feeling about it, which is really cool. It's something that I think Daft Punk have kind of created for themselves in their legacy. It's just music that does stand the test of time. So it does feel like you're discovering these new sounds through this album, and I think it's a fantastic album title and it describes this project really well. You do feel like you're getting a bunch of different electronic sounds, and each track kind of borrows different sounds and different genres or different styles of music, but it still feels like it falls under the umbrella term of dance and electronic music. But it just feels like it's pushing the boundaries, and at the time it must have been very progressive for this sound for them to release this project. I think most importantly for Daft Punk, the music they made felt inspiring for others, but I'm sure it felt very inspiring to them. I don't think that they intended to make Random Access Memories. From what I read, it was like just from a couple of studio sessions that they realized that this was a sound that they could look into, that kind of live instrumentation that we kind of hear and the real instruments that we hear on Ram. They seemingly feel like a group that were continually looking to be progressive in their sounds. And for them to release music, it meant that they had to push their own boundaries. And Discovery feels like that. I don't think Too Long really hit me. It was the one song that really didn't stall my experience, but it just didn't connect with me as the other tracks had. And I know it's a certain style of dance, Too Long, but yeah, it just wasn't mine. But I had a lot of fun with that, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this reaction. Like I said, Daft Punk mean a lot to me, and I think it really is time that I dive into more of their work. And I can't go ahead and keep telling people that Ram is one of my favorite albums of all time, yet I haven't listened to other classics like Discovery and Homework. Let me know what you think of Daft Punk. If you saw Daft Punk live, please tell us about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear people's experiences. One of my biggest regrets, I was obviously too young at the time, but I would have loved to have seen Daft Punk live. That would have just been, that's why I was kind of really bummed when I saw they retired. I was like, crap, I'm never going to be able to see them. What is your favorite Daft Punk album? And what's your favorite track off Discovery? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, feel free to hit the subscribe button, join the community. We've got a couple of reactions to some electronic sounds if that's the genre that you're really into. I've checked out a couple of Flume albums. I've checked out The Avalanches. I checked out Fred again. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then we have a wide range of other genres on the channel that we've reacted to. So hopefully you find something you enjoy. Take care, and I will see y'all in the next video. Cheers.